Welcome, fans and friends and viewers of all kinds. Window Lickers proudly brings to you its Raw Recap and Preview Show with host, The Voice, Joshua Joseph, and co-host, Bubba Doo. All right, fans and friends and viewers of all kinds, thank you so much for joining me and Bubba Duke here on our very first show. And we're bringing a special guest here, a friend of mine, a friend of yours. OMD, how are you doing, my friend?
I am doing very, very well. Thank you for having me here live on this first ever edition of the show.
Yeah, so well, we're so happy you could join us. And Bubba Duke, how are you doing, bud?
the late slide into home plate here. I'm good. Glad we're doing this. I'm so excited and stoked to bring this kind of programming to the wonderful people that are going to be watching this program.
Exactly. Well said. And I would like the fans to know that this is a new show that we are starting. It is basically a Raw preview and recap. We are going to pick 3 stories from each week, and we're going to talk about them more in depth. We're going to bring on a special guest to have a conversation about it. And then we're also going to bring on, well, me and Bubba Duke. And we're just going to discuss these things. And they're going to be 3 topics that are coming up, and then 3 topics that we're going to recap. And then we are going to send everybody off to one of the best Raw watch-alongs, the Raw Patrol, coming out of Turnbuckle Studio, which you both are dwellers of.
Yes. I'm actually, there was obviously Carl and Joe for Turnbuckle Talk, and then they kind of got me on it, and I was like, hey, I could do my thing, the Boar's Nest, and I did a bunch of stuff back in the day, and I was the first show in Turnbuckle Studios, aside from their product.
Awesome. And OMD, I mean, you can go ahead and give a little bit to my fans out here who might be introducing themselves to you.
I got very involved late last summer, I guess, and Carl reached out to me and said, I need somebody else to come in for Turnbuckle Talk. Went in and did the show, having made some sporadic appearances in the past, even when they were with other groups. And then they brought me in for the watch along, and it's just sort of evolved from there. And then Bubba reached out and said, do you want to come and do the Boar's Nest with me?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's been awesome to be a fan of your guys' work and see your progression, and now we all get to work together and create some things.
Absolutely. It's been magic. It's been great to have you come over and work with us at Turnbuckle Studios. It's great for us to be able to come here and work with the Window Lickers.
Yes. We love our Window Lickers here. Well, speaking of that, let's get right into it, and let's go into what we brought OMD on for. And I would just like to get into the Seth and Cody promos from last Monday or the Monday prior? No, it was last Monday when they had their big promos. So OMD, I would like to get your thoughts on Seth and Cody and where they're going.
That was masterfully done. I appreciate what Seth had to say, though I think he tried to take up more mic time for the promo than Cody did, which, as we saw, led to what happened on Friday night and that debacle. So it is going to be very interesting to see where they take that tonight.
Now, let me ask you, before you go further into it, are you a Cody or are you a Seth guy right now?
Oh, damn. I knew you were going to ask that too.
I got to.
I'm going to say Seth.
Yeah. I can understand.
He's been around longer. I mean, we had Cody come back 2 years ago. And they had that trilogy of matches. So I wanted them to get away from that for a bit.
Okay.
I realized that Cody was off for 9 months with his torn pec.
Yes.
And then he's been around for a year again. And it's sort of been, they've always been around each other. We saw it back at Survivor Series when they worked together on the same team, and now building to this.
Wow.
So they've always sort of hung around each other, and they haven't had that break. So I'm leery that the fans are going to start turning on that as well.
Ooh.
I can see your point on that. Now, Bubba Duke, do you have any insight on this?
I kind of have the same thing. Since the start of their careers, respectively, they've kind of always been there with right there with each other. And then Cody left and did his thing because he got tired of the BS, whatever it was in WWE. And then coming back, who's the first guy he's getting in the ring with? But that same guy, Seth Rollins. That I don't want to call him the head of the table, but I mean, he's the head guy.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
Triple H's boy. And kind of ironic that he is. And that's the first guy that Cody comes in to have to wrestle. And then, yeah, like OMD said, he got hurt, took his time off, recouped, got back. And then right away, he's right back in there with Seth Rollins. So, I mean, is it a good thing? Yes, because these two gentlemen, as you've seen in the past, can put on a hell of a match.
Oh, yeah.
But is it getting stale for the fans is kind of what I guess OMD's getting at as far as them turning on this whole story. Is it getting stale at this point? Like, do they have this match and that's it? Okay, now you go your way, I'll go my way, and then maybe in the future they meet. I don't know if I'm getting tired of it, but it's getting to that point where it's right on that edge and it's teetering of I've seen this before. Well,
Yeah.
give me something new with these two guys.
No, I can understand exactly where you're both coming from with that. I mean, there is a staleness to it. And I mean,
Yeah.
how many times can you go back to the well before the well runs dry? But
Or-
in the same sense, though, with what we've lost heading into WrestleMania, I'm kind of thankful we have this,
Right.
at least this. Would it have been different? Would it have been better to see it, to see a different matchup for both of them? Yes, most definitely. I agree with you guys on the fact that I'm to my point of being done seeing these two together, going at it. We've seen it, we've witnessed it, we've dreamt for it once it was able to come together.
Yes.
I honestly, I love Seth as a heavyweight champion.
Oh,
I
God,
think
yeah.
In this era, he really brings what a champion is about, and he's not hesitant to take a risk when it comes to his character.
Right.
Right? Like, look at the clothes he wears.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
the ring
he's
outfits.
fantastic.
And he reminds me very much of 80s, early 90s wrestlers and the Japanese style where they're very, I don't want to say flamboyant, but they're very out there as far as what they wear to the ring. It's very cartoony, very comic book, very I want to be
It's
over
the
the top
idea
so you
of
notice
wrestling.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the whole idea of wrestling. Superheroes getting into a ring and battling it out.
Exactly.
Oh my God, he's the Undertaker. Does he
Yeah.
really bury dead people after he leaves the ring? Who knows?
How do we know?
But
We've
they
never
tried to
seen.
make us believe it.
Right.
And he's very much that guy to the ring.
Yeah.
And then once he gets in the ring, he very much reminds me of guys like Razor Ramon, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, these guys, and Bret Hart and Jake the Snake, where they're very to the ring. In the ring, they're a completely different person. It's business now.
Mm-hmm.
And it like a switch changes, and he hits that gear, and okay, let's go.
Yeah. But I mean, where we're all in agreement on the, I guess, stagnancy of this, you have to equate what happened Friday night into this and the backlash that has become.
Yeah, very true.
Right?
Because we've been hearing about Cody and Roman since WrestleMania last year. And getting that. And we were supposed to get that. We've been hearing about The Rock and Roman for 4 years. and now we're potentially getting that, and now there's all kinds of backlash. So
I-
you gotta pick the best of a bad lot.
Yeah.
Type of
Yeah.
scenario.
We could always take a page out of another gentleman here at Turnbuckle Studios, and that's one Chris Parrish. And like he's saying, they're throwing all this stuff at us, but what is the real tidbit of information that we need to be looking at instead of the stuff they're throwing at us?
Yeah.
You never know, because it could be Rock and Roman, it could be Cody and Roman, it could be like, who knows? Right?
No,
Absolutely.
you're right. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, and that's kind of what I like about Triple H running things, where it's, yeah, we have a storyline and this is what our goal is, but then we're throwing all this stuff at you to kind of throw you off on exactly what we're gonna do, so you have that surprise still.
Yeah, keep you on your toes. I mean,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
that's
and
a
I love
good,
that.
fun part of wrestling itself. Okay,
Yes.
final thoughts on this. Anybody can jump in and go. We have Chris Best popping in saying the problem with the backlash is that nobody is taking a step back and letting the story unfold. Very true statement.
Yeah, true. I'll jump on this one real quick here, just so we can get OMD to give his opinion. I personally don't care who faces who, because with these gentlemen that we have in the spotlight right now, it doesn't matter who faces who. It's going to be an epic match for whatever it's for.
Oh yeah.
Whether it's title versus head of the table, or it's head of the table versus head of the table for TKO for The Rock there, or it's Cody finally getting that win over Roman to get that title that his dad never had. You know, just to finish that story. That's kind of what I want to see, because I want to see him finish his story, because I'm a Cody. I've been a Rhodes family fan since day one with Dusty and Gold Dust and Cody. And, I just want to see it. I want to see him get that title. But if he doesn't, it's not going to hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
OMD.
We've still got 2 nights of WrestleMania either way. You're going to pick your favorite matches. We're going to pick our favorite nights. So we just got to wait and see what happens. We know that either way, it's going to be a banger of a match. And we just got to sit back and enjoy the ride.
Very true. I'm going to just sum up mine with a drop.
Just you and me now. I'm going to touch you. Alright, dude. What the flip?
I feel that's what's going to be Cody in the ring while he's looking across at Seth, and Seth is ready to touch him. So, yeah, it's going to be epic. I'm here for it. But let's just finish it up, guys. Let's finish it up with this match and move on.
Put that nice, pretty bow on the top for us, and we're ready for it.
Exactly. Yeah. And speaking of choices, let's discuss the Bayley choice. And the reason I'm bringing Bayley up on a Raw discussion show is because she could have picked to go against a Raw Women's Champion. And she could still pick Io. I mean, right now we have Bayley, and I said it before, this year 2024 is going to be the year of Bayley. Fans who don't know her are going to know her. People who do know her are going to know her on another level. Bayley is going to be phenomenal for 2024. Now,
yes.
Where do you guys think Bayley's choice lies? Yeah, go ahead, OMD.
Bayley has chosen Io, and it was sort of one of those things that you saw coming. We all predicted she was going to win the Rumble. But I loved how they sort of dropped that tidbits of information every week of her catching the rest of Damage Control, talking about her, sort of isolating her. So she picked up on it, even though it was her plan to challenge Rhea and give Damage Control all the power. Now she can go and take some of that power away. by defeating Io.
Yes.
Now, which
Wow.
match would you prefer, OMD?
I would love to say Bailey and Rhea, but
Mhm.
I think that Rhea for me has fallen into that category of a Roman Reigns and only part-time defending.
Okay. I can see where you're coming from, but I'm gonna say it's a little harsh towards mommy.
Yes, she's defended a little bit more, but even still, I'm more concerned about her opponent and whether it's going to be a squash match or whether they're going to have 5 minutes of offense in it and whether they can actually get some offense in.
I got you.
So where they've said Rhea is spreading herself too thin by making the matches for Judgment Day and controlling all of that, she spread herself way too thin. She's more focused on everything else, and the title is just a set piece for her.
Okay.
I mean, that's very well said. I can understand where you're coming from.
Can't argue
Bubba
that.
Duke.
I like the fact that she picked Io for the simple fact of that storyline. It makes sense for her to go
Yeah.
after them, especially after what they did to her.
Mhm.
It's going to be a great match because both these ladies are at the top of their game.
Oh yeah.
I'm a little biased to Bailey because I just want a Bailey hug, bro. From day one when she came out as that the little things flopping in the wind and her giving these little kids hugs and just the happy Bailey. We need
Oh, yeah.
happy Bailey back. And I think her taking that title and saying, "Look, I proved again that I am better and I'm the top of the chain."
We got Chris Best coming in saying Bailey versus Io is going to be a star-making match for Io. Mm.
It's not going to hurt either one of them.
No,
Whether
I know.
Bailey wins or not, it's not going to bring either one of them down.
I see where Best is coming from on that, but again, I'm going back to this year is going to be so huge for Bailey
Yep.
that yes, this is going to put Io on other people's radars,
Yes.
but at the end of the day, you're still going to be talking about what Bailey did in that match.
Yes. And see,
Yeah.
you got to think too, how long has it been that Bailey's been the team player, not pushing for a title match, not pushing for this, not just being happy being the second host of WrestleMania, doing silly things for the company, like running around and now having her damage control. It, like you said, it's her year. She's earned it more than enough.
Absolutely.
I believe Chris Parrish said this on Sunday, and he was talking to the fact that she's your utility knife. She's the
Yes.
one who's always there. They haven't. I mean, Bailey. Yeah, she has had I believe she had an injury, which kept her out for a little bit of time. But other than that, she's been your solid game piece. And
Yes.
it's almost. I hate to link the name, but it's almost like when Benoit won the championship. He was such a Swiss Army knife for the WWE and reliable that it paid off for him.
Absolutely.
Him and Eddie both getting that title.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think this, I know Bailey's had the title before. She's held many championships.
Yes.
But here's the thing. Bailey hasn't had that. She hasn't had that superstar moment. She's been a superstar, but she's not been shown as a superstar.
No,
like she's been shown greatly, but there's another level to Bailey that I cannot wait to see.
You are absolutely spot on with that.
Yeah.
When she came back at SummerSlam a year and a half ago with Dakota and Io, to this point, I'm going to disagree with Chris because I think Io was already a star in her own right, but she wasn't as exposed to the main roster because she was on NXT. That was her call up. So they've gotten the chance to see her. We've gotten to see Bayley elevate her and Bayley elevate everybody else. But yes, you're right, where Bayley has not had that star-making moment because she's been overshadowed by Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, Becky. She wanted to stay in NXT and help elevate the business. So, good on her.
Yeah.
We go back when she came up and we had Stephanie and the Authority, and they were like, "Oh, you're just Bayley," or they classed her as the Daniel Bryan, the Miz, the B+ players. Bayley has excelled far more at that than anybody.
Oh yeah, I can agree with that.
And it is time for her to make her mark, have her year. I don't think we're going to get the hugger Bayley back. I think we're going to get,
you know what I meant,
a happier Bayley, but with still this damage control. And now it's time for me to do this.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
Final thoughts, Bubba Duke, on this one?
I think it's going to be I think Bayley might win, but I'm still on that edge of Io and having damage control with titles, kind of cool. But I'm pulling for Bayley to win because, again, I'm biased. I like Bayley. I know I'm not going to get my hugger Bayley back, but I like this edgy Bayley where she's not really taking crap from anybody and she's kicking butts and doesn't care who it is. So I'm gonna pull for Bayley on this one, bro. I'm gonna have to.
OMD, final thoughts on it?
I want to see Bayley get the win. But I think, again, even in this situation, she could get overshadowed by somebody I really do not want to see come back, whether it's WWE or elsewhere, somebody that can ride off into the sunset now for all I care, because she's run away twice after not getting her way. And that would be Sasha. I think she is still going to use her ego and try to stroke it at Bayley's expense.
All right. And in the voice fashion, I can only sum this up with Larry David.
All right. Watch this.
Terrific.
Ta-da!
Unbelievable.
And that's how I feel, how they kind of handled Bayley. She's out there doing tricks, popping olives in her mouth, and keeping the fans interested and telling everybody ta-da. But Bayley, to me, is definitely 2024's already. I think she's just gonna run away with this year, and it's gonna be epic to watch. Moving on to the third recap, and this one is another. Where does he go? Is he staying?
Yes.
Is he going? Drew McIntyre. I would like to know from both of you. The benefits of Drew staying in WWE and the benefits of him leaving and going to a different promotion. Whoever wants to start, go ahead.
Ooh. Rock, paper, scissors, bro?
No. If you got something, you go with it.
Just because you guys know I'm a Drew McIntyre guy. He's my boy because I'm pro Scotland. I love the Drew McIntyre we're getting now. They need to put a belt on this guy so that he can prove not only to himself but to the universe that he can handle that belt with a live crowd. Because he had it during the COVID period.
Mm-hmm.
Did a good job with it, but it's not hard to be a champion when there's no people. You literally just go out there, do your thing, go to the back of the lot,
In the same sense, it is a little hard though to be that champion and show yourself off in a bunch of empty seats that are just screens with people's faces on. We did that, guys. You do realize we lived through that.
Yes,
we did. Yeah. But I just want him to have the actual title. I don't care whether he kicks Rollins thing for it, or
Mm-hmm.
it's Roman Reigns he destroys to get that title. But in the same note, I wouldn't mind seeing him somewhere else to be better at what he does. To have that experience of somewhere else again, now that he's a bigger dude and like he's a little intimidating. I mean, if you were to get in the ring with this guy, you would probably poop your pants.
Yeah.
Oh, he is big.
You would, because he's a big dude. But I just want him to develop more of a character somewhere else, to be
Mhm.
something different rather than just this Scottish thing. And not only that, but the whole chosen one from Vince McMahon. Get rid of that crap.
Yep.
Let him do
Gotcha.
what he needs to do to be him. Forget Vince, forget the chosen one crap. Let's let him do his thing, kick some ass, take names, and get that title around his waist finally. Again.
Yep. I think the problem for him going elsewhere is that it's going to run into the same problem. They're going to rush to put the belt on him. And then as soon as he loses it, he's going to fall mid-pack, middle of the shuffle. I don't know if you know this, but he showed up a number of years ago in Impact when they did a UK tour and then came back. He actually had a tag team and a faction with one LA Knight. And he won the Impact World title. At the time, I believe it was the TNA World title. I can't remember. And then after that, after he lost, that was when he returned to NXT. So he's had this Scottish warrior, Scottish psychopath thing going on for quite a while now. Personally, I think it's going to come back to him versus Cody for the title.
Okay.
Because again, Drew's going to fall into that same category that I've got Cody and Seth in, is that the Drew Seth thing is stagnant. Whereas Cody and Drew is something fresh and new that we haven't seen since they were young guys.
Yeah, that makes sense. Especially for what you were saying, Bubba. I mean, OMD pretty much just he wrapped that up with you could do that. I mean, he's done that. But here's the thing with Drew. I'm not a huge Drew McIntyre fan. I think I would be more of a fan of his if he was elsewhere. And the reason I say that is because the WWE is saturated with guys like him.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when you take him and you put him out to another place, yes, they may rush and put that title on him because, well, he can carry a title.
Right.
So a lot of places right now, and this is my opinion, they have champions, but they're not champions I'm going to put stock into.
Right. See,
go ahead, OMD.
Right. Where I worry, and I'm looking more towards Jacksonville for this, is you've had these guys that went over from WWE that are gotten lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
Whereas if they can do a working relationship with TNA, then you can get some solidification for Drew. You don't have to rush to put the belt on him.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I mean, if they played that angle and still left the door open throughout that, because we're seeing it, the WWE and TNA, they have some type of working relationship, whatever it may be.
Right.
We don't read the contracts. We're not in the board meetings. So, but we are the ones enjoying the product, and what they did at Royal Rumble, I'm down with. I love it. I love you sending those people over. We got to see Jordan Grace in a WWE ring. We got to experience what makes that product fun and
Absolutely.
good and believable. And it was like they handed us their best. And then also in the Royal Rumble, I have to give props to him because he's doing phenomenal work. I watched him with you guys on the Vengeance pay-per-view or premium live event. Braun Breaker. The dude he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
He understands the product and he understands what his mission is inside that product. And I think that's where a lot of this is going to go with Drew. And Drew has the capabilities of being your top guy.
Absolutely.
Now, does he have it in the WWE right now? It's hard to say because there's so many top guys there
Absolutely.
that he gets lost in the shuffle just a little bit. He's still a big presence. I mean, I still see fans stand up when he comes out. People cheer when he comes out. He's a draw and everything, but it's like something about the WWE is taking away from that extra bit of Drew that fans of his have grown to love and understand and admire.
You're absolutely right. It has been taken away. And I mean, the same thing can be said for our current Money in the Bank title holder, Damian Priest.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, and I've called them on it when we go back to when Dolph Ziggler won Money in the Bank, when Daniel Bryan won Money in the Bank. They went on these long losing streaks until they cashed in. Now you've got Damian Priest, who's not necessarily on a losing streak, but he's now one half of the tag team champions. So where does he go from here? So you're taking that away.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if you're asking me, I wouldn't mind seeing a Priest and a McIntyre feud.
Right.
I mean, I'm talking like a 2-month long feud where those two are just sneaking up and beating the hell out of each other any chance they get and making it fun. And because two guys of that size doing things like that, it brings meaning to a lot of things, because you could also use Drew then to screw Damian out when he cashes in.
Right.
And then now you got that sympathy factor for Damian.
Yep.
And Drew's walking around with that badass factor.
We've seen that already prior to Survivor Series.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I mean, I would like to see, instead of maybe challenging a Seth or a Cody or going after Roman with the Money in the Bank, is maybe at WrestleMania Damian Priest goes after Gunther.
See, now that would be cool too. I would enjoy that.
Because then you can still put Drew into that mix. If we're hearing that Sheamus is coming back and potentially Sheamus versus Gunther at Mania now.
Yeah.
Now you're going to get all these big monsters battling for the Intercontinental title to say, okay, I'm next.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Epic.
Okay, final thoughts on Drew. Bubba Duke, let's hear what you got.
I think he stays and gets that title shot, at least if he doesn't get the title. And Punk's already told him, I want your butt when I get back.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have that fight. That'd be pretty cool to watch.
OMD.
I think he's going to stay within WWE, but if that working arrangement does come up with another company, he will go and challenge.
I like it. I'm going to hit him with some R-Truth, though.
This is on me. Kane, my bad.
It was your bad, Drew. We wanted you to see your greatness. We wanted you to be there, and you are. But we could see more from you, bud. We really could, and I'm here for it. Again, I'm not a big fan of yours, but I do see the work that you've put in throughout the years, and I really see there's a big potential for you right now, and it'd be fun to see where you go.
Right?
Okay,
potential.
OMD. You got the Raw watch along coming up. The Raw Patrol. Do. So, I'm gonna give you an option real quick. You can stay and be with us for the 3 previews coming up for the match, or I can let you go. You can give your socials and you can head on out.
I will happily stick around with you for the show.
Awesome.
That's my boy. That's my boy right there.
Okay, so we're just going to kick it off with the big one, I believe, for tonight. And that is Cody Rhodes versus Shinsuke Nakamura in a bull rope match. Now, did you both see what happened to Cody backstage?
Yes.
On Raw or SmackDown, I can't remember.
Oh, this was a
No,
house
this
show.
was a house show.
Okay, so no, I didn't see this.
So Cody is walking backstage. I would play the clip, but I believe it's too long for the copyright issue. But anyways, so Cody's going back after a match, and he gets attacked by Shinsuke. He just lays into him.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
He had just finished. He'd actually just beaten Shinsuke in the main event.
Okay.
Going to the back, Shinsuke attacked him and once again gave him the red mist.
Okay.
Jesus. So now we have the bull rope match.
Yes.
Our first question for this match, for both of you, does this pique your interest?
For the fact that it is a bull rope match and hasn't been seen since JBL and Eddie Guerrero, absolutely.
Yep.
I was gonna say, number one, wasn't Cody's dad in like one of the first bull rope matches?
Cody's dad created the bull rope match.
So there you go. You got the history on it. And the last one was, as you said, was JBL and my boy Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
Wow.
Here's the question. Is this going to be a pinfall match? Or is this going to be a four corners bull rope match?
Ooh, that is a good question.
How about we do four corners, if I can learn how to count. And once you get all four corners, then it proceeds to a falls match.
No, the four corners would be the winner. Like you have to walk.
No, I know. I'm trying to throw a twist in there, brah. Come on.
All four corners consecutively. As far as that rivalry goes, again, it's hitting the level of Cody Seth, Cody Roman, and the rivalry is now stagnant to me.
Huh. Okay.
I respect the take.
Yeah, I mean, you can't deny it. That again, like we always say in the Boar's Nest, your opinion is your opinion, and it matters because I respect the fact that you have an opinion. My opinion is somebody going to get hurt tonight, and it's not going to be Cody.
Yeah.
Dead silence.
Well, Chris Best, let me tell you something. I wasn't doing the butters and those drops for this one, but you definitely tune in Friday. You'll get a drop, bud. Chris Best has his own drop, OMD, when he enters the chat rooms of my shows. I just didn't think it was appropriate for this one,
right?
But it seems like he's wanting it. So, but I like the idea of a bull rope match.
Yes,
it's fun. It's different. I mean, it's not different. I've seen them, but it is different though, to the fact that they don't do them all the time. No. So it's given us that extra little bit. Okay, so second topic. Our fearless leader, Gunther, celebrates 600 days as Intercontinental Champion tonight.
Whoa.
How do you guys feel about that?
Fantastic. Again, I'm glad he's celebrating. I'm disappointed that we're not going to get Gunther Seth like we were hoping at Mania.
Yeah.
But now Gunther has established that Intercontinental title, and now it's up to everybody else to live up to him. And I don't think a loss or losing the Intercontinental title is going to hurt if you're going to put him into the world title picture, I'll say post-Backlash.
Okay.
Huh. I'm proud of the dude for making it 600. Good for him. He deserves a pat on the back. He's definitely earned it. Yeah, like you said, OMD, he's the standard for that title now. Like, you gotta hit this level to even get a chance to take the title off him at this point. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta raise your game to him, not him to you. If that makes any sense.
No, it makes sense. It's here's my thing with Gunther. He's so believably strong because he is actually just insanely strong. But his presence alone makes me believe that he is some type of international wrestler sent out to destroy all and anybody who is not from where he's at. And then when he's done doing that, it's everybody who from where he's at. But here's the thing. I don't think Gunther needs this to still be that impactful. I understand it helps and it's very amazing in what he's done. I mean, he's completed so many records with this. He's also a utility knife. I mean, he is somebody that you can plug and play and the fans are not going to react negative about it because who doesn't like to see what he can do in a ring? I mean, it's amazing. And another thing, I know we've all talked about this. You've heard me say it about I don't like bigger guys with smaller guys, but when Gunther is doing it, there's something different about it, and it's very cool the way he adapts to the smaller guys and how
Right.
they shine in those matches. Even though
Right.
he might beat the living bejesus out of them,
Right.
you're
Yep.
sitting there going, "Oh my God, that dude took all of that. He let Gunther just destroy him, but he never gave up until Gunther made him give up."
Right.
And that's what I love about Gunther.
Yep. As we said last night, go back and check out Ilya Dragunov versus Walter from NXT UK. Go back and check out the first two matches.
Yeah.
Because those are just, your mind's going to be blown. But 600 days, I mean, it is a major, major milestone because when he passed the Honky Tonk Man at, 543 days or late last year, probably September-ish. Now you're hitting another milestone. And I mean, yes, it's half of Roman Reigns' reign. But even still, this isn't the undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship or even the World Heavyweight Championship, but you're still looking at nearly 2 years as the Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah.
Yep. And has defended it on a regular basis.
Yes.
Not just pay-per-views at his choosing.
Very
you know
true.
what I mean? Like someone said, "Hey, I want that title from you," and Gunther went, "Bring it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You name it, I'll be there." And he's defended the title.
Okay. Quick final thoughts on the 600 days with Gunther as our champion.
Congratulations, you earned it, my friend.
I'm going to echo those same sentiments.
Yeah. I'm not going to do a drop with this because I feel if Gunther would see that, he would hit me. So
I think I would hit you.
Yeah, you're an amazing athlete, and
Yeah.
it's fantastic to see this this amazing role you've been on. And for our last preview, now this might be a curveball for some people because I don't think they would think that this would be something I would talk about for a preview, but we have The Miz facing off against JD McDonough. How do you guys feel about this one?
This is two Swiss Army knives.
Yeah.
Yes.
Two plug and plays.
Yeah.
The story that has been told between The Miz, R-Truth, and Judgment Day, especially revolving around JD McDonough, is fantastic.
Yes.
JD needs the win.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though since they brought him to the main roster, he's either left with nothing to do or he's been taking all of the losses for the Judgment Day to make everybody else look strong.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
But either way, anything these two guys do in that ring is gold because those two can work. They can sell. I'd like to see JD get back to who he was in NXT using the I'm going to pick you apart with surgical precision type of guy.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Bubba Duke.
He definitely needs the confidence boost of a win. And what a better guy to get it against than The Miz. Now, is he going to get it clean? Probably not, because I got a funny feeling R-Truth's going to come out, screw something up, distract The Miz somehow, and he's going to get the win. Regardless, it's a confidence booster for him. Good luck, buddy. I wish you the best tonight. Let's hope you get it done.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's very it's a very interesting match. I'm at first I was
What in the fuck are you dressed up like a bumblebee for? And what do you look like Indianapolis Jones?
I was a bit confused. But then I sat back and I thought about it, and exactly what OMD said at the beginning of this segment. He said two Swiss Army knives, two plug and play characters, and you are very correct on that one.
Yeah.
Because right now, JD is going up against The Miz, and The Miz, for whatever reason, caught on. I don't know whether it's just him being a workhorse. I don't know whether it's him just being shoved in our face until we accepted that we were going to see The Miz on every. But whatever it is, he's owned it. He's taken it, and The Miz has become a Hall of Famer. I mean,
Hands down.
you have to look at his career to understand that the dude came out of reality television, and this was a drunk creation of his because he wanted to be a wrestler as a child.
Right.
So he would get drunk, The Miz would come out, and he wouldn't be the rascal that we saw The Miz be when he first came into the WWE, which was horrendous. I'm glad that they scrapped all of that, and now we get this Miz that is a Ric Flair-esque type of character, but with the ability that can go. And we witnessed a Miz title run, and it wasn't that bad.
It was
And
pretty good.
It wasn't that bad.
I'm going to add to your Miz being a Hall of Famer. Not only is he a Hall of Famer, he's going to headline his own class.
Oh, yeah.
You know
I
why?
could see that easily.
Because he's awesome. So I had to.
Where I'm going with that is that JD gets to take what he already has and the amazing skill set he has, and he gets to work with a talent like The Miz, and he gets to understand why the fans do this when I do that. He gets to get an education, not saying that he's uneducated in the ring, because he is, but the fact that if we look back a few weeks ago, how The Miz got sucked into this, it was like he was in a trailer park and the tornado was coming, and he, his pink flamingo got sucked in, and now he's in it. And he's the one who you could do that with backstage. He's the one who you could do that with and pull it off, and we're still here. We're like, oh man, this is R-Truth's partner going up against R-Truth's enemy, the guy he wants out, the guy he feels is taking his spot in Judgment Day. And it's a comical spot, but it's also very entertaining when they do all get in the ring.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, final thoughts about the Miz and JD match.
Fantastic match. Can't wait for it. Hoping it's going to open the show, or at least the second hour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I personally can't wait to see it too, because The Miz, and how could you not like anything that has to do with the Judgment Day right now?
Oh yeah, they're very, very hot right now.
Yeah.
All right, window lickers and fellow fans, people who follow along. Maybe you're out of the Boar's Nest. Maybe you're out of Turnbuckle Studios. It doesn't matter where you're out of, because you're here with us, and we've come to the end of this. And for a first episode, I think this went pretty smoothly, boys.
Very well. Very much so.
I think we hit 6 subjects in an hour. So I think that's pretty good. And thank you, OMD, for coming on here, joining this experiment with me and Bubba Duke. As always, man, you have great insight. I love watching you on the watch-alongs on the Boar's Nest when you guys are playing games. You are an entertaining human being, and I'm very grateful that you're a friend of mine and that we get to do these cool things together. So if you have any socials, anything you want to promote, let it out, man.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to be here. Glad I've met you through Turnbuckle Studios and being able to work with you, whether it's on the Raw Watch Alongs, whether it's now doing a first episode. Thank you for having me for the first episode. Where the people want to find me, they can find me in about 10 minutes over on Turnbuckle Studios with the Raw Patrol for the Raw Watch Along. Tomorrow night, they can catch me on Turnbuckle Studios as well with Turnbuckle Talk, and on Thursdays with the gentleman above me, Bubba Duke, on the Boar's Nest.
Awesome. Again, thank you so much, OMD, for joining us. Bubba Duke, co-host, fresh guy up in Canada doing his Canadian things.
Yeah, I live around the corner from that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
We talked the other night, OMD. I'm going to be peeping in your windows. So
Okay.
Yes.
I'm pressing ham. So
All
just
right.
you watch out for that.
All right.
Bubba Duke, how'd you enjoy being co-host on this new adventure?
This reignites my energy and my fire that I have for wrestling again. Because I've been burnt out. That's why OMD and I started the whole Boar's Nest switching from wrestling to gaming and movies and entertainment, aside from wrestling. But this is awesome. I'm loving this new adventure. It's something I personally needed to help me just be more happier, I guess you could say, just in a simple term.
Awesome.
I feel good about it. I feel happy. I'm excited. I'm exuberant about it. Let's do it.
Well, Bubba, let the fans know for the first time where they can find you.
Yes. I do have a link tree that I'm working on. It's where I can put all my social medias. But for now, I do have a email. You can email me questions, and it's going to be my new YouTube. It's going to be OMD. That's a capital O M and D, capital on B for Bubba at gmail.com. And you can find us every Thursday. We start at 8 o'clock. Sometimes it's a little earlier, so you got to hit that subscribe and that notification button, depending on how much information we have to give you, because we do have a lot sometimes before we get into the gaming. And we would like you to please, if you have an Xbox or have access to the Game Pass for Xbox, go on there, find a game that's a multiplayer, even if it's single player. Let us know what it is. This guy down here and I will give our review on that game, whether we like it, don't like it, love it. You should play it. Get an Xbox because it's the best game in the world. We will tell you our opinions. But yeah, definitely give us an email. And I do join the Raw Watch Along, which is the Raw Patrol. Once I get this crazy contraption of mine working again, it's gone down and blown a gasket, and I got to go fix it. But I will be there tonight, whether I'm watching or not. I will just participate in the conversations. Again, dude, thank you for inviting me to do this with you.
No worries.
You're definitely a breath of fresh air for Turnbuckle Studios. Not that we all don't have cool things going, but you fit in there, dude. Just like 2 years going together, like you were here the whole time. It's awesome, dude. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank both of you for joining me. Fans, friends of the voice, you know where to find me. You can find me here, which will be Monday nights right before Raw, 7 p.m. You can also find me on my new show starting Fridays, Deep Fried Fridays, where we dive into some conspiracy theories. Now, we know that there's a lot of things going on in the world, and these might not be your average conspiracy theories. We're going to dive into some weird shit. One of my favorite ones is going to be sugar. Is it good for you? Is it bad for you? Is it really as bad as they say? Is it as addictive as cocaine? Who knows? But we're going to find out, and we're going to dive into it. So come and join me Friday, and then you can always catch me Sunday afternoons with the one, the only, the Chris Parrish, and come be a parachuter. Come join us, have some fun. enjoy the moments that we try to create here, and go check out my friends OMD and Bubba Duke as they do the gaming. I enjoy watching it. I know you will, because we've talked fans, and I need you to go out there and enjoy life. Enjoy life again, because 2024 is here. It's a new year. Let's just see what the hell happens this year. I mean, let's take the Bailey approach. Let's stop all the worrying about what's behind our backs and just take what we want, because that's what we need. And I love you guys. I love everything about this. And thank you for joining us. Until next time, we will catch you later.